Okay, another brilliant performance by India's batting unit here after what had transpired in the second T20I. They didn't really do well, but then they've replicated their show of the opening T20I, scored 219 for 6, courtesy a maiden T20I century by Tilak Verma, the number 3 India batter, and then Abhishek Sharma also roaring back to form with a blistering 50 of just 25 balls. And towards the end, it was debutant Ramandeep Singh's 6-ball 15 that made sure that India went past 200.
Plenty to talk about over there. 20 overs, 219. Reminded of the predictions that we guys made, and I'm good 40 runs away from what has been the eventual score. But neither was Gulati any close, I remember, because we weren't looking at India going past the 200 mark.
I predicted 185 for 4.
The extra bounce that we were reading of, yes, the dimensions weren't the biggest, let's say, to clear in terms of the boundary. However, just we're taking into account the South African pacers and the extra bounce on offer. Maybe that's why I had my reservations, but Tilak Verma, of course, the headline act over there, and plenty of good strokes, plenty that he showed about his batting today, scoring 100 runs, not easy, and wasn't just one-dimensional play from him. We saw him get down on his knee, we saw him dance down the track, and it was good to watch him and get those 100 runs.
Third in Mumbai Indian batter, I think, who's got 100 for India. Of course, Rohit Sharma has 5, I think. 4, 5. Sky has a few.
Yeah, Sky has a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, and then there is Tilak Verma. So it at the moment does seem like great retention for Mumbai Indians. I don't know about India, but with the total that they've got, you would consider them favourites to win this particular game. But Mumbai Indians looking in red hot form. Hardik also started to get into the groove but could not get a lot of runs. We'll talk about the big talking points, and the first one, Sanju Samson. Yeah. How many times have we spoken about Sanju Samson, the IPL player as well, the T20 player as well, who has blistering hundreds or blistering knocks, and then comes a dip, and it's been a good 7-8 years. I think I've seen
close to a decade now.
Yeah, and this doesn't seem to be changing. So at least on that front, he's consistent that he will give you those big knocks. I'm not saying that failures won't come. I guess when you're going to be playing high risk cricket, which the Indian team is playing. And by the way, on the outset, I have to say that really enjoying this Indian team's batting lineup. The last game I think was an aberration, but overall I think they've been outstanding. So I like the approach. If it's not Sanju someday, it'll be Abhishek Verma today, or there is a Tilak Verma that has stepped up, or on occasions you'll have a Hardik or a Rinku, whoever steps up on a given day. I think that's the mantra they're following in this new T20 team that you've got under Surya Kumar Yadav. But Sanju Samson on that front remains consistent. As I said, it can happen in a high risk game, but then it wouldn't be a bad idea if he's consistent with the kind of talent that he has, the kind of strokes he has. He doesn't have to follow this template that this is my template, this is what I'm known by, so I will keep doing it.
Doesn't matter what the team template is. Sanju Samson has his own template.
Yeah.
And this is just that.
Yeah, but he can try and change that. I mean, I'm saying there's no compulsion.
See, we've
after getting 2 or 1 big knocks, you have to fail.
We've been longing for that for quite a while now, and for a reason we've been saying that, okay, Sanju, give us that consistency, give us reason enough that you are a mainstay in this Indian side. But it's very cyclical what happens with Sanju Samson. You get some highs in the IPL, then there's a trough, then again you see a high of sorts. International career comes to light, fades away, comes to light, fades away. It's very cyclical. It's working like clockwork at the moment.
I think specifically in this innings, I feel he was a little unlucky. If we look at the second T20I, it was a rash shot. Didn't really have to play that shot in the first over itself. Could have waited. But then I think it was a good back of a length delivery today by Marco Jansen, but kept a little low. So that's where I think he was slightly unlucky. But then still I feel he's going to be slightly ahead of Abhishek because of those 2-3 figure scores in succession that he has had. One against Bangladesh and one against obviously South Africa at Kingsmead Durban. because selectors, fans, and even I think the casual fans also, they tend to remember the three-figure scores a lot more that
No.
a batter has scored.
Not just three figures. I think at the moment, if you were to even look at consistency, to be fair, Sanju, even though we're talking about his inconsistency, has been more consistent than Abhishek. That's how inconsistent Abhishek has been.
Yeah.
Today, he did well, and that was, again, the same logic, that same high risk cricket. If you're going to play, you will have failures, you'll do well. And that's the game that Abhishek has. The day it's his day, he'll wow you like he did today. 200 strike rate. You couldn't have asked for anything more. Could have kicked on from there, but I am not complaining. This is not ODI cricket, this is not Test cricket. All you need your openers is to do that. If you're getting me 200 strike rate, 50 runs, eyes closed,
I'm
365
taking it
days
365 days, all 7 days of the week.
Anyone is taking that. So he's doing that. But all I'm saying is that, say, with Sanju, the frustration comes, like, the whole argument comes, and he may still open, as you're saying, that, he's ahead of Abhishek Sharma. Completely agree. The argument comes that, listen, he has a chance to set the record straight and be the first choice wicketkeeper batter. But this is what happens where he then, the debate continues. He can actually end the debate. I still feel in terms of number ahead of Rishabh Pant, but can really end it if he just brings that consistency in his game.
Do you see him? I think he'll really have to move the Everest and whatnot to be able to
T20,
upstage.
no, I don't think so.
He's
got
the
much better numbers than
sentiment is firmly in favor of Rishabh Pant. He really have to move mountains.
No, but sentiment doesn't mean that is primarily because of how good Rishabh is in the longest format of the game.
It gets confused all the time.
Yeah, but if I'm just saying, if he brings in consistency, you'll have to be forced to look at it
in these
differently.
4 matches, he scored a century. He's got 2 ducks now. He's only left with 1 more opportunity. Does let's say quickfire 70 also do enough for him?
I'm not saying in an immediate this series term. I think he was building up on this opportunity.
If you ask me, outlandish thought, I think even if he was to get 4 consecutive 50s, even then it wouldn't have settled the debate.
See, he's got far better numbers, whether it's IPL or T20Is than Rishabh Pant. There's not even a comparison. We've looked at it.
Yes.
He's far ahead, despite his inconsistency. But I'm just saying, for him to go past that public sentiment or the perception and all of that, he needed to show a bit more consistency. Who knows? Anyway, that's a different debate when we get down to it. Let's spend some time on Tilak Verma, the man of the hour. What a 100! And you can get hundreds. They can be scratchy hundreds. This one almost touching at a 200 strike rate, and more than that, the kind of shots that he played all across the wicket against spinners, against fast bowlers. Wow.
Making room, stepping down, like I said, down on the knee, paddle, this, that, on the offside, down the track, on the onside, making room, pulling the ball. It was actually a good stroke play that you saw from him today.
I think a big knock was around the corner after what he did in the opening T20I also. 33 of 17 that he made. Couldn't really, get going in the second T20I. But then I think that's what I think Tilak Verma is known for. We have seen it in the IPL and even in the domestic cricket also. He has a wide range of shots, and more importantly, the way he connects those shots. I think the timing that he has is pretty much second to none. Like, I have seen a few batters, but I feel that Tilak Verma, I think for me, ranks up there in terms of timing of shots.
Actually, I'm not taking anything away from him, but today, I think South Africa's game plan also left a lot to be desired. I was a bit surprised with getting both, long on, long off in on certain occasions. And when you're doing that, okay, fine, that's a risky strategy. I don't see that happening in T20s that often, but you're doing it even towards the death they were doing it.
And then you're bowling full.
Exactly. The problem is what you were bowling, your lengths after that. That was pretty mediocre, pretty average from the South African team. Which again, I'm not taking anything away from the batters, but the strategy.
Just want to add to the below part stuff from Australia, from South Africa. There is so much of Australia in the head at the moment.
Yeah, he's done it for the
second time I realized. Yeah, but look at the number of extras. Again, in T20 wides, there were 10 wides if I recall. 10 wides, 6 leg bys. Okay, leg bys you can't really control that much, but 19 extras in total. That's a lot. It's a big difference from your total being around 205 to there being 5-6 runs on an average that you can take as extras. But 19 is a lot more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think what I'm really surprised to see is the struggles that a certain Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya and Rinku Singh have had, throughout the series. I think
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya has also been a little found out with those back of a lane deliveries or the bouncers when he is really able to connect with those
He still got to run
full
once,
shots.
but
Yeah.
Surya, Rinku,
That was 39
But
of
you know,
45 on a tough pitch. But then today I think he was very early onto the sleep. Onto the sweep basically
yes,
against
yes,
Keshav
yes.
Maharaj.
First shot was a sweep for 4.
But
I think
even
that was
then,
the
he
first
didn't look
score.
in full control. He lost his balance by the time. It went like an absolute bullet to the fielder, who ultimately ended up making a mess of it. But he didn't look in complete control of that sweep shot as well.
Yeah, I mean, short ball has never been his problem actually. So I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, here, but he used to play those jabs really well. If you remember,
Yes.
that's where he plays those jabs and really hard ones. Like, the last moment uses wrists and really whack it. So I'm a bit surprised that, his mode of dismissal. Maybe it's just, I mean, there's not enough sample size for me to say that that's really turning into his weakness. But you're right about Rinku Singh, because I'm a huge backer of Rinku Singh. But there has been, after the outstanding time that he had in the IPL and even in T20Is for India, and then you don't take him from the T20 World Cup, which I thought was rather unfair. I think he was a must. But anyway, nothing succeeds like success. You won the T20 World Cup. Nobody's going to question. He just goes in as a reserve. But since then, he's failed to really fire out. Like today was a chance. I agree. A lot of times he comes down the order. He doesn't have the chance. Today, he came in around the 11th over or so. Enough time for him to be, getting the move on or the kind of overs that he needs to kickstart. And so, yeah, it didn't look comfortable. A couple of times came out dancing on the wicket and coach just saw him and bowled a quick one. Marco Jansen hit him with an under edge. The bowlers also weren't too happy. And I feel that he's a bit anxious. Like, his strength is, if you remember those outstanding IPL knocks as well, the one where he even got hurt, he sits back. He doesn't have to be adventurous. He sits back, allows the ball to come in. He just plays through the line, no matter where the length is, can adjust. Today, and I'm guessing because the runs haven't come, not too many batting opportunities, he's a bit anxious to show or stamp his authority, which is why I think he's getting a bit found out.
Yeah. But I think advantage for India, to be honest, because they decided to play Ramandeep Singh here. You knew that, what his ability was. You've left, Avesh Khan out, a premier bowler here. But then he coming in, scoring in those 15 of 6, I think that really made the difference, because had he not got that, things might, I think India might not have even crossed 200 for that matter.
I like the fact
You
that
still had Aksar. Maybe you would have
Yeah,
gotten
You wanted
a
to
blow.
keep that left-right combination
You
going,
would have
maybe.
gotten some runs there.
no, but even if you play I'm not sure about the 11. You play that extra batter, which you could have done away with, because even Akshar is underutilized. First, he was being underutilized as a bowler, now even as a batter. I don't know whether he gets enough over. But the thing is, like, I'm a bit surprised. Look at the strategy. Look at the number of fast bowlers that South Africa have gone with. You've just gone with one effectively. I mean, Ramandeep Singh will come and bowl, but I'm just looking at an out-and-out pacer you've gone with. Is only Arshdeep Singh.
And Hardik Pandya.
Yeah, but again, both are all-rounders, right? In that sense, I'm saying just an out-and-out fast bowler. You've just gone one in Arshdeep Singh. I'm a bit surprised with that, because, I mean, you want to play those many spinners, but one, you have been underutilizing one of your spinners. Even Abhishek offers you spin bowling. If you needed some sort of cushion, you could have dropped a spinner for a fast bowler, I guess. I mean, but I don't know. Maybe
I think
you
maybe
at the
he
game
Still have 10
differently.
bowling options today.
You do,
Yeah.
but majority of them are all. So you only have one. So you will, if let's say it goes the distance, so even with your new ball and with your depth, how are you gonna manage all of that? See, again,
got
both Hardik and Ramandeep sometime bowl in those middle overs where they really don't have to. I know Hardik has bowled in the death sometime with a new, but it can be a hit or a miss.
Exactly. We've seen him concede those 19 runs, 22 runs, this and that.
So you need at
Didn't go
the
as per
top
plan.
and at the back end, like, experienced death bowlers. So it's a bit of a gamble they've taken. Bit of a
But I
gamble.
think India have gone with the trend, because in the first two T20Is also, South Africa have lost majority of the wickets to spin. Their play against spin has actually been found out. So I think in a way it makes sense also for India to go with their strengths.
Yeah, like we were, during the build-up as we were talking how how effective your two premier spinners in Bishnoi and Chakravarti have been. They've picked up 12 wickets together. So the idea is you fill in all those middle overs with them, and you just need to be very smart and be very precise with your calculations. We only got 12 overs of pace bowling. So you've got to cover up about 4-5 overs at the top and then about 4 overs at the end. So you should be good. You should be good eventually.
Okay. I mean, yeah, once you get, in the in fact, India, by the way, at one stage was 240, was looking.
Yeah.
It was looking like a par total at that time. So they've kind of pulled back South Africa to 219. And once a team gets 219, you think, you'll have to go with a winning team. But the kind of bowling that they've gone with, I think if South Africa have a good day, it could be a nail biter. Could be. And you never say that once you go past 200 in a T20 match, and yet I'm saying that. In fact, Mehraj Rules has a comment, and he says on our live chat that he feels South Africa is chasing it down. He feels it's Hendricks' day.
Okay, I think it could be possible because the pitch doesn't really have those demons, nor there is any help for the bowlers also. But then I think we have to watch out for Indian spinners, specifically Varun Chakravarti. He's really proving to be a mystery for South Africa with a total of about 7 wickets in the first two.
No
T20s.
idea the other day. Absolutely no idea.
Yeah, but you got to remember that slowly and steadily, now that everything is being reported in the media, you tend to work on that. And I mean,
and what if Australia third time? What if South
Just did
Africa?
a story on Australia.
What if South Africa? I've now seen your story on him. Underspin, overspin,
So
and now the batters know.
No. That was just explaining what a difference is. Of course, they know. Keshav Maharaj, he would have tell, and in fact, he was bowling a lot of side spin today. I was
Side
watching
spin.
him. He was all bowling rather well. I like Robin Uthappa's comments on that comment. He said, if he doesn't get picked for IPL, then IPL scouts should be fired. But then we've seen funnier things in
Exactly.
IPL. Zampad is peak would not play. Yeah,
with Keshav as well, he was travelling with one team. He goes to a spiritual visit with one team, gets named in the other. So talk about funny things happening in the IPL.
He represents Durban Super Giants in SA20.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, he does.
True that. Shubham Garg, he says, Nikhil sir, what has happened to bilateral T20Is after 2022? So many 100 high score. Is it because most of the times teams don't play main bowlers? Oh, that's an interesting point to look at. You're right, actually. A lot of time they
You have no Rabada bowling at you.
But also teams are not playing main batters as well. But those are the ones.
That's what they say. Batters will always find their way out.
Yeah. Also, it is changing. T20 cricket, it is changing. And I agree that bilateral doesn't carry that much pressure with you as ICC tournaments. And one good point, I agree with him that you're not seeing, because in this day of multiple formats, I think T20 bilaterals is that first opportunity rest your main bowlers, right? Even ODI, some are even going to watch Coldplay concerts, right?
Who these guys?
Bilateral. That's what text you'll pay attention.
India versus India.
Yeah. But I think
Coldplay is happening just now.
Coldplay is happening just now. And I think Coldplay are in Australia for another couple of gigs. I hope it is on some of the match days as well. And these guys can go enjoy.
I was referring to Pat Cummins.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get it, that's why.
No, actually, I was confused with the fact that India, the Coldplay concert is in India in January, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I was referring to that.
25th January.
At that time, you'll have India versus England. So
I have been assured tickets by somebody, so yeah, I remember the date.
Oh man, lucky guy. DM him. He's getting
no,
tickets.
someone from my family is also going, na, so that's why I remember.
See, assured is going.
Wow.
Extended family.
Wow. DM Harshit for Coldplay tickets. Okay, predictions before we wind up?
I think India winning, but a thriller. Last over thriller.
Ooh, I'm going with him. India winning, but a thriller.
Same. I think India winning like about one hit will be the margin. I think.
I think India winning by 5 runs.
Wow, that means a good game coming your way. Enjoy the game, but
hopefully not a long one though. These guys took an hour and 50 minutes to bowl their quota of 20 overs.
It will be. it will, we're coming around 12:20, 12:30, I guess. So we'll see you end of the day's play. Take care. Bye bye. See you soon.